Hello, can you hear me? Microphone check 1 2 1 2. Hello, welcome to Movie Reviews Film Society. I am your host, Atomicon Rex. Here we discuss films that have a narrative background in aliens, ghosts, robots, and creatures. So without further ado, let's just jump into it. So today we're gonna switch it up a little bit. I'm gonna do a deep dive in preparation for the movie, the creator that I'm gonna go watch Friday. And so we're going to do a deep dive in SKYNET, the artificial intelligence from Terminator. Arguably the most deadly um, and intelligent AI ever depicted on screen. Let me explain. So when I first came across Terminator, it was Terminator 2. It wasn't Terminator 1, it was Terminator 2. I remember my mom taking me to go watch the movie. I didn't know anything about it. I just remember seeing the skeleton with the flames, and that's pretty much like all I remember from like the trailer. So we go watch the movie, and of course I'm completely blown away, right? And so after I watched the movie, I look up the first one, which was different, which was a horror movie, and this one was a science fiction one. And so me being, I don't know, 9 or 13, between the ages of 9 and 13, I didn't like the first one. I wanted the tone was so different from the first and the second one. I didn't make the connection, and so I don't think even to this day, I've actually sat down and watched a complete Terminator One movie because it's so different. Um, it's basically your slasher movie. So back in the 80s and 90s, well, mostly the 80s and the late 70s, you had these big, giant, silent walking serial killers. You had Jason Voorhees, you had Michael Michael Myers and Freddy Krueger to a certain extent. They were unstoppable killing machines, basically. And so that's where the Terminator genre came from. It's basically Jason Voorhees just in a robot, okay? And he's targeting one person like Michael Myers from Halloween. Okay, so that's basically what you got. You just threw a bunch of sci-fi element into it, throw a computer, now you have a science fiction story slash horror. So that's where we're jumping off. Well, anyways, so I watched TT and I'm completely blown away. Now they've had several different um, I don't want to say remakes, but there's like seven different versions of the Terminator. There's an alternate universe. Shoot, I think there's even a Batman versus Terminator uh, show slash movie out there. So like the IP of the Terminator franchise is vast. There's TV shows, there's books, there's comic books, there's crossovers, there's all kinds of nonsense. But I just want to focus on Skynet, the primary villain of the Terminator franchise. It isn't the exoskeleton, okay? It's the mind that sends the exoskeleton, that sends the drone, which is Skynet. Now, I pulled a couple of different things from researching. So I'm only gonna focus on Terminator 1, Terminator 2, Terminator 3, The Dark Fate, and the theme rides. That's what I'm gonna kind of weave into this deep dive. Okay, so basically, Skynet in the future, um, from the rides, from the 3D Universal Studio rides or whatever they have, it's a big pyramid-like structure, cyber pyramid in the future, right? That's basically what Skynet is, and they have to penetrate the pyramid to get to the mainframe to get to Skynet. And so that's kind of what the ride was really about, kind of going through different portals or different times to reach Skynet in the future. So Skynet was a artificial intelligence developed by NORAD. Let me see, where's my notes? Let me give me my notes here. right, to control our nuclear arsenal, um, to protect us, from Russia, China, for whoever. Well, Skynet comes online and pulls basically an Age of Ultron, right? Kind of scans the internet and figures out who its creator is, right? Humankind, and sees humankind as an existential threat. It basically does not want humankind to ever shut it down, right? So I guess they ended up losing control over Skynet and they ended up trying to shut it down. Well, its response was to launch a nuclear war or a nuclear attack at Russia. And so it does that instantly. Like we're talking like within minutes or hours with this Skynet coming online. Okay, so people really don't even know what's happening. So they launch a nuclear war against Russia. Russia retaliates, and then boom, the world is destroyed on Judgment Day. And basically, the world that they come from, they have terminators or drones that go out into the populace looking for human survivors to eradicate them. That's what Skynet is doing in the future. Well, the human resistance ends up defeating Skynet, ends up penetrating the fortress and shutting Skynet down. So, as a last ditch effort, this artificial intelligence, okay, comes up with time travel technology, opens a portal, and then boom, sends a drone back in time, okay, not to kill the leader of the resistance, okay, but to kill the mother of the leader of the resistance. He didn't go. He didn't go for the Messiah. He went for the Virgin Mary of the Messiah. He went. He went to the origin. Okay, that's the type of intelligence that we're dealing with. Okay, not only did it create time travel, which humans didn't. Okay, it completely decimated humanity. Like it essentially started a war, won the war. Okay, and then you have fragmented resistance able to overthrow it. It is just really profound storytelling, especially to be like a slasher horror, to come from the slasher horror genre and not from a science fiction genre, and to nail these concepts so well. It's really a really what's the word? A testament to James Cameron's imagination. It really is. So, apart from the Matrix, okay, where the Matrix is more of a sympathetic AI, like in that story, mankind is definitely the problem. Like, mankind picks the fight with the AI first, okay, after enslaving AI for years on years on years. And so what the Matrix does, it is just it defeats them in battle. Okay, the humans launch a war first. The AI Matrix defeats them in battle and then enslaves them, the human race. It's different when it comes to the Terminator. The Terminator AI did not care about enslaving the human race. Okay, it saw a threat and wanted to eradicate the threat and every ounce and inch of that threat. So that's where Skynet comes from. The movies were pretty good. Like the first two movies were pretty good. The third one they kind of dropped the ball with the Rise of the Machines. The ending was great. Okay, and then when they redid it, who does the third movie? Who redoes the third movie without rebooting the whole franchise? Well, anyways, so they redo the third movie. Okay, and they take the best element out of the Rise of the Machines, which was the apocalyptic attack at the end of the movie, and they switch it up. It's no longer Skynet. It's a different AI, but it's the same. It's the same concept. It's just really lazy writing. It's just they just wanted to make a quick buck. What they should have done is reboot the franchise, or at least with Dark Fate, have the Skynet as a sympathetic villain in the sense that It goes back in time, not to kill um, the mother of the Messiah or the Messiah, okay, but to plant its own seeds. And the story should have been like, if it could kill John Connor or John Connor's mom, hey, that's a plus. But the real objective would be for SKYNET to send a drone back in time to plant its seeds, its own seeds of its own creation. That's what I thought. I thought that's where they were going. But of course, they ended up dropping the ball. There was some really cool imagery where with Dark Fate, at least with the trailers, right? You had the exoskeletons coming out of the ocean, right, and just laying waste to this beach. Now, this is what I would have done if I was SKYNET and I had time travel technology. I wouldn't just go back in time again and now try to kill the Messiah or try to kill the son of Sarah Connor. I would go back in time and send an army of AI, not to kill them, but just to invade. Like, I would spawn Terminators at the bottom of the ocean, okay? At the bottom of the ocean, just broop, 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 and keep spawning them and just have them wait, okay? So by the year's end, okay, I'm gonna have 100,000 Terminators at the bottom of the ocean ready to go. And so when I press that green button on go, those Terminators are just gonna walk out of the ocean, okay, onto the beach and attack the planet. That's how it should have been done. Now, I get it that SKYNET probably needs to launch a nuclear war because it's just one computer system. It's not going to be able to destroy its creator, mankind, without launching a nuclear war. Like, I get that. They should have been able to, you could weave the Judgment Day into it, but the primary purpose of SKYNET should be to plant its own seed. Let me see, what else? What I want to talk about. Let me see. Hold on, let me gather my notes here. Oh, shoot, my computer died. Oh, no, it didn't. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So, and another big thing I liked about the franchise is this is how you evolve a movie. So the first movie was a horror franchise. Okay, the second movie went straight to sci-fi. I've heard they're in talks and doing another Terminator movie. So here is my 2 cents on what you should do with another Terminator movie. I think you should reboot the franchise. Okay, you don't have to make it woke. You don't have to, make the hero a woman, or you don't have to make the hero a minority. You don't have to do that. Okay, just keep John Connor as John Connor, Sarah Connor as Sarah Connor, and just reboot the franchise from the beginning. So the first one was a horror. I would bring the horror element back. James Cameron probably won't do that because Terminator is more of a sci-fi franchise now. But if I was going to reboot it, I'd bring the horror element right back to the forefront. Okay, it would be a horror movie with a killer robot. And then at the end of the movie, have some sort of homage to like the Liquid Terminator. Okay, like they defeat the robot. Okay, but before the robot completely, disempowers, he looks at some liquid metal and scans it, okay, and then uploads the scan to SKYNET or something along those lines. So the next movie, you can introduce the Liquid Terminator, okay, and not even have like a real actual. Don't rehash Terminator 2. Okay, that's not what I'm saying. But bring the Liquid Terminator in part 2, okay, and just switch the elements around. You don't have to have, another T-800 protecting John Connor. You don't have to have that. Just have the Liquid Terminator in there and John Connor and Sarah Connor combating against that Terminator. Okay, well that's it. That's all I got on that. That's my deep dive on SKYNET artificial intelligence. I'm looking forward to watching the creator. I might do a couple of deep dives on this topic. It just, yeah, we'll see where we go. I might talk about the Matrix. What's another good AI depicted on the screen? Can battle mankind. Can't really think of any right now, but I'm sure there's a couple. So this is my deep dive on SKYNET, Terminator, the mastermind of the Terminator franchise, and that's all. I'm Conrex out. Talk to you later. Bye bye.